we need to legalize these drugs and make them controlled substances in the United States. You know what the funny thing is?
How could you say that, Michael? Legalize drugs?
I'm totally down with what the Eastern
guys,
Europe.
because I talk to a lot of these people want to continue the war, and at a certain point, you're going to risk it. I don't know what the percent is, but I don't want to find out. Not over Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it over Ukraine.
I mean, but was it going to be worth it over Kashmir? When India and Pakistan go to nuclear war, I mean, was it going to be?
No.
Is it going to be worth it over Palestine?
Taiwan?
When Israel?
Taiwan, yes, because we get our semiconductors for our missiles. That's different.
We can still.
Hey, we're about to start manufacturing here. Hopefully,
we can get
semiconductors
from other
Actually,
places.
when we do that, yeah, we can have a discussion about Taiwan.
Yeah.
But for now, when 90% of the advanced semiconductors are coming out of Taiwan, no, at this point, we need that island.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, don't take the island. Here, let me read these super chats really quick. $5 in Don Juan. Thank you, bro. The dating show. Let's fucking go. There's 2 dudes in Miami with monkey noise wearing a white blanket and doing a salute, beefing with ABBA and Preach. Beta.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's crazy, dude.
Dude, yeah, everybody takes shit way too far right now. $2 from Just Jerry. Where my Asian princess? W Pod, W Sartain, W Guest. Yeah, man. She was at the club last night. She was a good girl.
She was asking about you. She's like, dude, where's that flat earther Jerry?
Yeah, where's
like, man,
Jerry?
I really want some strange tonight, some strange eggplant. Where were you, Jerry? Why weren't you there with her?
$5 from Don Juan Plagueis 0. To be clear, the Catholics didn't stop people from reading it. The ban was for private meetings, so groups don't come up with different views, which happened.
I don't think that they were encouraging anyone other than the priesthood to become literate and to have their own interpretation of the Bible.
Yeah, I know that too.
That's what maybe that's a better way to describe it. I don't think they were encouraging illiteracy per se, but I think to a certain extent they were not encouraging literacy.
$2 from Just Jerry. Thoughts on Ukraine? We did talk about Ukraine, so yeah, you heard that. $2 thoughts on the current border situation. That's a good one. Yeah. So, what do you think about like the Mexico-American border situation that's going on? That video went stupid viral of all the people running across the border. I think it wasn't even like a video that happened recently, but did you see on Twitter?
Yeah,
everybody was going crazy about it.
This is going to be a problem when you have one country with a $23 trillion GDP and another country with a $1.3 trillion GDP, and they share the largest border of any 2 countries on the planet. That is the largest land crossing on Earth is between Mexico and the United States, or as far as the amount of commerce that goes across it. Obviously, U.S. and Canada, I believe, have a longer border, but as far as U.S.
Canada's definitely longer.
But there is much commerce as goes through there. There's no larger land port on Earth than I believe Ciudad Juarez in El Paso. So the thing about it is, when you consider that, you're always going to have this problem. So if you want proximate solutions, the proximate solution is legalized drugs. You want the ultimate solution, it's like annex Mexico. Like those are the only, if you guys want real solutions. This idea, it's so funny.
And I agree with you on both of those. That's what I've been saying for years.
The funny thing is with like this Republicans, Democrats. Republicans are somehow totally fine with the amount of guns that are in this country, which, by the way, I agree. I don't have any problem with the amount of guns in this country. They're totally fine with it, with the amount of guns they have in this country. And Democrats are like, we've got to get rid of some of these guns. And the logical argument is there's already millions and millions of guns in this country. You're not going to get rid of them. That's completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
But somehow the Republicans are unreasonable when it comes to the realization there's 11 million illegal immigrants in this country. And somehow we're just going to
kick them all out.
Kick them all. We're going to put them in ovens. Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen here? Like, they're here. So deal with the fact that they're here first off. That's what I would like to do. The second thing is stop ignoring the fact that a significant portion of our economy comes from them. That's our fault for doing that. Yeah. You want to see, why is it those coffee shops in Tel Aviv are being blown up all the time? It's because you hired cheap labor from Palestine. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did do that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason why. So the thing is, if you want a solution, oh man, there is, like I said, the ultimate solution is like a complete overhaul of the Mexican
destroying the cartel, and it would actually be destroying the whole country because the cartel runs the country.
Exactly. So it would be something to that extent where you'd have to get to the point where there was enough economic opportunity in Mexico where people would want to stay. That is the actual answer.
I mean, and I think the CIA wants the cartel to keep going. Like, I think that there's people in high up positions that want these things to keep going because there's money to be made, or they want, like, if the drug war was gone, then we can't fund police.
Here's the thing, man. Let me ask you something. Have you guys been to Tulum? Have you guys been to Cabo?
I've only heard about
the nice parts. Yeah, the nice parts. Yeah.
Do you see the resources in that fucking country and how beautiful it is?
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck are they that poor? It makes no sense when you look at like Norway compared to Mexico? How does Norway have more money than Mexico? With all that fucking petroleum and land, it is crazy to me that Mexico is that poor. There is some like incredible levels of corruption. When you think of all these European countries that have a higher GDP than Mexico, it makes no sense. Mexico could lead the manufacturing. They should be building cars. They could be have. Why does Taiwan have the ability to make that much money and Mexico can't? It makes no sense to me that Mexico makes fucking.
Mexico's a good worker. Mexico's good workers.
Yeah,
too.
but
They work hard. We know it.
My point is, these motherfuckers like they get oil and they make liquor. That's it. Like how did this end up? Like they're kind of the Western Hemisphere's version of Russia. Like how could they not do it? Well, Venezuela is another great example.
Yeah.
Like
Corruption.
How do
Mismanagement.
the answer is mismanagement and corruption. So like you'd have to start with something. There has to be some Central or South American country that literally just puts a stop to it. And I know that's a hard thing to say, but there has to be some country that puts a stop to it, and then the next country puts a stop to it,
So
and the next country.
if America is the policeman of the world, and we like to keep our fucking hands in everything across the whole world, why is South America so different right now? Like why aren't we taking like the drug trade even more seriously? If it's so damaging, like I said, I think that police can't be funded if there's not a drug war. The drug war is such a big deal.
I think it takes some rational people in Congress to say we need to legalize these drugs and make them controlled substances in the United States. You know what the funny thing is?
How could you say that, Michael? Legalized drugs?
I'm totally down with what the Eastern Europeans do.
Do you guys remember when those studies came out? 40% of people in the U.S. that had tried marijuana at some point, something like that.
Yeah.
And then if you talk to the people who said we're going to legalize marijuana, marijuana was going to cure cancer. It was going to. We were going to use it for rope. We were going to literally burn
all the hemp stuff.
The hemp stuff. We were going to run our cars off hemp. Do you guys remember this beforehand? And then everyone was going to be on marijuana. 95% of the population was going to be on marijuana. You know what happened when we legalized it? Same number of people smoke weed.
Yeah, nobody.
No, it didn't change anything. And you know what will happen if we made cocaine legal? Same shit. Same exact shit. You want to know something? You guys are not going to believe this. People are in Las Vegas tonight doing cocaine. Shut the fuck up, Michael. Stop saying that. People are in Houston, Texas tonight snorting cocaine tonight. Illegally.
Here's the uncomfortable truth about all of this. These cartels, they get their money from the drugs being illegal.
Yes,
exactly.
This is how they make the money.
Did the prohibition ever work?
Exactly. And you're saying it takes people in Congress to try to make this stuff legal. Who's going to run on that?
I mean, it's going to be tough to do it.
I'm not disagreeing with your view of it. It's just how do you get it out of a primary? Not even a general.
Here's how you do it.
You got to get it out of a primary.
Here's how you do it. You have an executive fiat. You appoint someone to the FDA who changes the scheduling. That's the first thing you do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we do is we make things like fentanyl and OxyContin worse, and then we start to
take weed off.
We start to take weed and then things like that off. And we decriminalize some of those things, but you would have to do it from a federal level. And then the states would then be able to vote and say, "Hey, listen, here's the other thing that would happen."
I think marijuana, sure, but
but hold on, but
get the other ones off.
Here's the thing: when Oregon and Colorado made marijuana legal, do you remember? There were these other states that were like, "You guys you fucked yourself, and you're gonna just crime everywhere." Mm-hmm. Turned out they were wrong. Mm-hmm. Turned out it was an incredible financial
public
boon.
Schools ended up getting more money.
Turns out it was an incredible financial boon for those states. So the other states, California and Nevada, they held suit. For some reason, these morons in Texas can't figure this out. Mm-hmm. You want more money? You have the terrible fucking public education system. Make marijuana legal. It's already everywhere here.
Listen, marijuana is not going to be a hard sell.
Yeah.
The issue is they're making a lot of their money on fentanyl and coke.
So start with that, and then move down the path. By the way, fentanyl is worse than cocaine.
Yeah,
fentanyl is worse than cocaine.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with your solution.
Yeah,
I'm not advocating for it too because I plan on running for office one day. But what I'm trying to say is to convince people on this platform, even though it logically makes sense, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
because all people hear is that, my kid is going to end up getting fentanyl because this guy's saying he wants to make fentanyl legal. You can't get in. You're not going to have a chance to explain to them hey, the cartels make their money through fentanyl, and if we ban it, this is how they keep making money. People are not going to listen to that.
I saw a trans Navy admiral the other day, bro. I think anything can happen. I just
fair enough.
I just really think that the Overton window keeps shifting to the left. To the point where I just don't again.
That's gonna happen sooner or later.
I think so.
It's already happening in certain places. Like you can already get certain hallucinogens and stuff in a state. I think it's Washington. I think you're able to get.
Could be right. Maybe in 50 years, people will decide everything should be legal.
So Go ahead.
Most things are okay. Like, you gotta understand, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad stuff, but I really think the prohibition thing is just the easiest thing to bring up. Alcohol didn't work being prohibited.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it's just
None of
that
these things
it's that
work.
I know. So it's that simple though.
The
And
question-
alcohol's horrible.
Listen,
Like, look about how many people died, from alcohol poisoning during prohibition. Like, it's very simple to be like, look at all these people dying because of overdosing on fentanyl. That's not going to happen when we stop the prohibition. It's very simple, I think.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with your solution. My issue is I'm looking at how to get it passed. How to get
if this were 1975 and I told you there's going to be a bill passed to protect federal protections on gay marriage, you would laugh at me. You would laugh at me. There's no fucking way that's ever going to happen. If you in 2023 and you tried to propose a bill to get rid of gay marriage federally, I mean, unless you're Clarence Thomas, you would get laughed out off the floor.
Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.